Previously on When They Podcast.
What is your take on Rena? Do you have, can you confirm or deny your take on Rena, I guess?
No.
No. I'm honest. I'm stumped. Hey. Wow.
Well.
Yeah. I'm random bystander here.
I'm a bad student.
Random got watched Cars 3 for Christmas once.
I really thought you were gonna say I'm dead.
No, hey, I did. Hey, to give me credit here, I did say in the last episode it could be aliens. We never know.
Did you really?
I did 3 times.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
I think I was wondering why I was groaning inside my head when I got to that point in the book, and I was like, "Fuck."
Well, now I'm on board all over again. This is why it's my favorite of the book.
See, the best part is I don't know if you're serious or not.
I would tell you about it, but let's talk about it because we got a lot to discuss.
So quickly, because unfortunately for the timer, quote unquote, everybody thinks this is the big one. It's not just us. So for, I guess a quick recap, not so much as what the general reception was, but our reception on everything, because it's been a roller coaster. Higurashi 1, we all thoroughly enjoyed. Higurashi 2, we liked it. Air quotes. I mean, we all liked it. We all liked it, but
it was the least of the books.
I like parts of it, yes.
Yeah. Higurashi 3, we all thoroughly enjoyed, despite the things that were bad about it, which we might not have agreed on what was bad, but there were reports that we didn't like. Higurashi,
it dipped it sagged in the middle, but like after that, yeah.
And the beginning for the most part. Higurashi 4 was a very nice little side story, and I think Higurashi 5 is the only one that I don't want to say mixed on, because it's we all liked it more than 2, but
yeah.
There is definitely varying levels of I'm okay with this versus I'm not okay with this, depending on who it was. So the question arcs very straightforward in terms of what we thought of them. Higurashi 5, there was a bit of polarization, and now here we are. So as far Higurashi 6, we'll get right into it afterwards, but Higurashi 6, I already mentioned this, it is the big one. It is the one that a lot of people look to when they're kind of ultimately deciding, do they like the story or not? Because a lot of people really love this. It also has its detractors, and I will take the side of each as we go along, and by the end, you'll know what my opinions are, because that's the point of the podcast.
I'll be honest, I think I already know your opinion, but I'm not going to say it out loud yet.
That's true, I hate it. So, very, very quick plot synopsis, because there's so much to talk about. Rena did an oopsie, and everybody has to deal with it. All right, that is the plot synopsis. So
that's really it. That's really a good summary.
That's it. She just made one little mistake. Well, 2 little mistakes.
Yeah, I'm about to say 2 little mistakes.
2 little
By
mistakes.
2 little, I mean 2 big mistakes.
Well, you say that, but there's no investigation.
That's true.
Everybody watching knows that the format that we stick with is before the festival, after the festival.
That's not going to work here.
I told both Random and Wash, guys, it's not going to work. We're doing this chapter by chapter. And neither of you answered me.
Let's get started with with chapter 1, the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
Holy shit.
Okay, so I bring this up a lot. Up to this point, my favorite thing that has happened in Higurashi so far is still way back in book 1 with Rena at Keiichi's door, trying to get in, and just the tension there. It did not take very long. This was... I missed this. I missed this
Oh
so
my
much.
God.
I missed this so much.
You know what I like about this? I like that, like, Keiichi wasn't just, like, shat upon.
Yeah.
Like, it's finally, like, he's genuinely equal to the best of them.
Exactly.
Like, he's...
Oh yeah.
He beats Mion. It's him who beats Mion.
Yeah, he beat Mion early.
Yeah.
Like, Mion sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just tried to use like a machine gun, and she got tricked and duped so easily.
Okay, but listen, we have a very important question, like right off the bat. This is the question that's gonna plague the rest of this series, because it hasn't been answered. We don't know what the answer truly is. Did Rika really get shot?
The narrator says she was soaking wet, but
We don't
there's one
know.
thing I
She
learned in
could
this
have
book.
easily done that to herself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very true. If there's one thing I learned in this book particular is don't trust the narrator.
We'll get to
This
that.
is Unreliable Narrator, the book.
We'll get to that.
Unreliable Narrator, the series. Anyway, all right.
Rika was wet with gasoline. Oh, no.
Oh, big bummer. You know what? Rika's ahead of the game. That's all.
She didn't want to play, so she just got a bucket.
No, my favorite part.
Oh, no.
My favorite part of this whole thing. It's such a stupid line. It's so Keiichi, and I love it. Is when Satoko and Rena are having their battle, and Rena's like, Satoko thinks that she's won. Rena says, "Oh, too bad, you lost." And Keiichi starts running forward. He says, "Rena is my target. Satoko is dead to me."
Satoko was already dead to me.
I love Satoko. She is so stupid. She's like, "What are you talking about? How did you beat me?" Instead of just shooting Rena, who's right in front of her.
Yeah. You know how you could have changed the finale?
Yeah.
It's almost as if not overthinking would have changed the story a whole ton.
Oh God, we'll get to that. There's so many cool things about the water gun fight. I don't want to sell the opening short though. When they're with Rena at the dumpster.
Oh yeah, it's like very quiet.
Like even that far back, she says, I don't think I did anything wrong. Here is the tragic tale of
I think
Rena.
I did the right thing.
Yeah, that's honestly hits much heavier. I think I did the right thing. And then she gets up on top of her secret base, a stage set just for her among garbage, as it says, and this is the tragic tale of Rena Ryugu. Water gun fight.
Yeah, that's literally the first chapter.
This fight is essential to the entire story.
I love it. I love it so much.
It really is.
It sets up everything, and it pays off in the biggest way you could possibly think of.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later.
I just love the anime close-ups.
I gotta say the action vignettes.
Ryukishi's always kind of like stepped up his game with every story. Like, you started with 1. I guess 2 was like different, whatever. 3 completely changed the format. 4 was a side story that he had to relate. 5 was from a whole different perspective. This is a very ambitious story in a lot of ways. I like that he really, considering that, it's Ryukishi, he doesn't know how to draw, he doesn't know anything about tech or anything. I like the initiative.
Yeah, it really starts out strong.
Yeah, like God bless him for trying. Yeah. My chapter 1 is actually very light in the notes. It's actually the fewest notes that I have is for chapter 1.
Even for somebody that wasn't as grossed out by it all as you two were, after 5, we needed this.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, there was nothing in chapter book 5, right?
That's because Shion's a bitch. No games. Just
And
Shion.
it's like we're bringing all the games.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It's like it's amazing. I guess. I mean, I'm not going to knock this against it, but as we've said, there's really not much to say about it. But that is just it's so simple. It's just a water gun fight. Like it's just Keiichi taking a Nerf gun and shooting some kids after they shoot Mion with water. Rena smashing her gun against the wall and throwing the water on Satoko.
The only other thing I really have to say is that like Mion is a little, it actually like acts human because like they have the duel and they have the showdown where it's at least from everybody's perspective, Keiichi and Rena shot each other at exactly the same time, and Mion is sitting here like she's supposed to be the calm, collected club president. Everybody's looking to her. She's like, congrats on the tie! Yay! Okay, we can't do that. Okay,
We'll settle this later.
we'll settle this later. And they kept saying, we gotta do this fight, so we gotta do this game so we can settle it.
And technically they do.
They settled it, but we're not there yet.
Yep.
Chapter 2?
Apparently Hugh Neutron was in this chapter because I mentioned him in the notes.
Oh, Chapter 2, yeah.
No, Hugh Neutron was at the restaurant, wasn't he?
No, in Chapter 2, no, it's when Keiichi wakes up in the morning and Rena's waiting at the door. She's talking to his parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
I didn't write it down because I know random would.
Oh, hey there, Rena. Do you want to hear some embarrassing stories about Keiichi?
So, this is jumping a bit ahead of Keiichi's parents, but, like, I have to be the one to bring this up. I see your mother at the grocery store all the time.
Oh, I noticed that. I literally put in my notes. That's how she knew his parents weren't home.
Rena knows what I'm gonna have for dinner every night. It didn't bother me, but I was a little embarrassed.
I got that from the beginning. I literally wrote that down in my notes.
You know what this chapter is like? This chapter is like, it's like the bonus episodes, but it's in canon.
Kinda.
Because everybody's here.
Yeah. Well, no Oishi. That's big.
Not yet. We haven't got to Oishi yet. But like Tomata and Okamura, the perverse, the pitcher, the one who loves eating sweets, and when I say love, I mean loves.
I love when Mion says, Keiichi, you know this guy? He's like, I'm trying not to.
I'm trying not to. And then also the director is just there, like, the whole town is here. Was I the only one who... I mean, it probably would like, super clear, but, like, the bit where, Keiichi and Rena are talking when they're on their way to the restaurant, and they're talking about Keiichi's parents and say, hey, what about your parents? And he said, oh, my parents, they're always like hugging and kissing. They love each other so much. We know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. Like, I could tell something was up because she didn't want him to meet her mom. I was like, something's up there. But, I was just like, I didn't know what it was, but I knew something was up. But now I'm like, oh, fuck. I hate to say this, but this is probably my least favorite chapter of the book.
I mean, I get it. It's probably mine too, but it's only because, like...
Yeah, I get it.
It's so jam-packed. The only other one that doesn't really have much in it is Chapter 1, and that's just so much fun.
Yeah, that's so much fun.
I like this one, but it's not perfect. And...
It can get exhausting. It's
like... this might be just me, but the point where it's like, all right, let's do another eating challenge. I was like, come on,
and
just
kept going.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, let Rena and Keiichi have their victory. God damn it! You said they would have their victory.
To be fair, it's Mion. Is she gonna give that to them?
When the director, when Coast was saying, if it means I can take these adorable girls home with me, I'd even swallow a table. And it was just making me think of, like, Ed eating his own bed. Good grief, man!
Yes! Oh my god.
I like the part where, like, Keiichi is panicking, and he's trying to visualize a plan, and he's visualizing a plan so hard that he sees himself. Oh, wait, it's Rena.
Yeah.
This is the point where we see Rena's perspective.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gosh, there's so much to say about this, but, I guess the only thing that I can add is, well, for now, obviously there's a lot more going forward, but I was confused when I first read this. Not that we were getting Rena's perspective, but I'm like, why is it pink? Everyone else is white. Why did Rena get pink? And then I found out, and I was like, good God.
It's pink with blood. Let's move on to chapter 3.
Okay, before anything, I love Satoko. She's an idiot. Rena and I were having a conversation, and we started laughing. Satoko assumed we were making fun of her and butt in.
Right away, not in the stomach.
Because they kept poking the Casey's stomach right after the...
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
you're right.
I'm telling you guys, I am going to puke. And Satoko is like...
Stop it, you cold-blooded demons.
Yeah, you cold-blooded demon. That's what
Don't think I didn't catch that, because I caught it.
Oh, I caught it too, yep.
Love and Mion is like, all right, Keiichi, escort these young ladies home. And Keiichi's like, I'm the one who needs protection.
Oh, also, like, another thing with, like silly Satoko was that, like, they're talking about how, like, Keiichi could have been, like, a politician and he could have his face on money. And she's saying, money with Keiichi's face? How pathetic. They would only be worth 200 or 300 yen at most. And that's not really an own.
Well,
we put, like, George Washington on the $1
yeah,
bill.
okay, that's fair.
I also wrote, Rena is adorable. I can see why Kirby likes this book.
I love when Rena, she's at the dump and she's talking about the ghost, which for like everybody else so far has been like this big thing, like, oh man, it's the ghost of the guy who was killed. And Rena's like, I'd love to talk to the ghost. Maybe help him find his arm and be a conversation partner. And then later on, when they're talking about it, I think Satoko is the one who's like, oh, could you imagine Rena just going up to the ghost and shouting, I'm taking you home, and everyone's like, oh, that's so Rena.
Yeah, you're going home with me. But no, it turns out what's actually happening is that Rena goes to the junkyard and we get a brand new location. The Ed Boys carpeted van.
Yes, oh my gosh, I was going to be the one who brought that up. Thank you for bringing it up.
So we're jumping around, we're making jokes. This is a sad chapter.
Yeah, it gets sad.
We start with humor for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah. It's humor it's comedy as a defense mechanism, which pays off at the very end of the book. But in this case, like, yes, like we, I mean, even in the even at the end of chapter 2, like when we were hearing from Rena's perspective, there was already clues where she was talking about, like, one day all of a sudden these happy days will come to an end. I know it. Like, there's already a clue that, like, she has some mental issues, and this extrapolates on that even further.
You could see, like, just through the narration that her parents are starting to dwindle apart. They're starting to, like, be separate more, with the dad staying at home and the mom working more and more and more.
And there's also that uncle.
Yeah, that uncle.
Who doesn't like to be called uncle. He liked to be called daddy.
Yep.
Ooh.
And Rena, and how the mom would, like, nurture Rena would be to buy her shit. And literally, the day she tells her some bad news, she buys her a, what does she do? Like a...
Yeah, it's like a big, parfait kind of thing.
Yeah, that she's always wanted to try. And after she does this, she breaks the bad news.
Yep. And they're divorcing, and she's pregnant.
Yikes!
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Big.
Which also means that there's that Rena possibly has a step sibling that hasn't been mentioned.
Yeah, I mean,
although we don't know anything.
The potential is totally. I mean, she could just be lying. Like, who knows?
It's possible she's lying because she also said.
Yeah, like regardless of what your interpretation is, though, they're probably never gonna meet just because her. It's not even that her dad doesn't want to see her mom, because he's totally up for at least talking one more time. It's her mom that is just like, I'm not going anywhere near him.
Yep.
Which hurts. It hurts because he didn't really do anything. He supported her, and
not only that, but like Rena even tried to like give her mom. I think it was give the mom a card.
Yeah, it was. And she was like, sure, I'll read it later, when Rena damn well knew that she wouldn't.
Yeah, no, read it now. Read it right now.
My mom is lying to me.
Oh, I'll read it later. That's when I learned there were two kinds of people: good people and terrible people.
Yeah. This
that was the start of it all.
Especially like when she, like just compounding all that. Like suddenly you have trust issues.
Yep.
Suddenly you have a lot of emotional scars. I god damn, it just sucks so bad for Rena. And this is also the origin of Don't Call Me Reina.
Yes, I know.
And the reason for that we don't know yet. Like she just says like don't call me that, and like at the time it's like, oh, because her mom said it, and she suddenly just she doesn't want to hear that name anymore.
I also want to bring up when, not that it's pleasant, but when she tells her dad, when he finds out the lawyers will leave, and he asks her if she knew the uncle, she was like, oh yeah, I knew him, and he hits her. And then, like, moments later, he's like sobbing, crying, apologizing.
And like Rena is crying. It's like she's not crying because like the dad hit her. She's crying because it's her fault.
Mm-hmm, yep. It's so much. It's so much. It's a lot. It's a lot. Here is the question, because Higurashi 5, Shiono's just a nutcase, but Higurashi 3, for as tiring as it could get, I don't think there's much argument that it was good. It was just like too much. Like not quite so good it's bad, but that thought process. Did we feel the same about this?
No.
Well, I didn't think about that in book 3 anyway, but okay. Explain. I think I know why, but I'm interested to hear all the same.
I would say it's not as physically abusive. Like we just hear about like the end just like abusing, and the uncle just like literally abusing her in the present. And it just gets worse and worse and worse as time goes on. With this, it's just a flashback. It's self-contained in this chapter, as far as we know at the time. Mm-hmm. And it's something very relatable and something a lot of people go through: a divorce.
And she's thinking back to this, because you talk about flashback, like she's thinking back to this, and like at that moment, like she has the dad has a new love interest. I say love interest, girlfriend. And like at that moment, she's thinking like, I'm glad my father's happy. Like I'm sitting in this car, so I don't have to deal with those two, and I don't have to deal with her fucking perfume. But I'm glad he's at a better spot. Because like Brandon said, this is a past, and we can look at the past with the thinking under how it informs the present.
Yeah,
informs our future. But it's when we get to the present, I realize, uh-oh.
I think that's also, I agree as well, because that happens in the present. The abuse with Sadako happens very much in the present, and it keeps happening, and it keeps getting worse.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's why it pretty much got exhausting. This one, we got a little bit of it, and then some more sprinkled in throughout. It wasn't just constantly escalating.
Yeah, like book 3 is where like Satoko gets a pat on the head, and she gets post-traumatic stress disorder, and she's screaming in a classroom, throwing items, and everybody is panicking and screaming at each other in anger, and it just compounds and compounds and compounds. This isn't quite that.
When she's on her way to the dumpster, and she's like, no, Rena, you're not depressed. Stop telling yourself that. Just say the magic words that'll always cheer you right up. How?
Oh, yeah, I thought that was in chapter 4, because I wrote down, like, my depression goes away, and I thought that was the cue. But, yeah, I wanted to mention that as well, that, like, she's... that first time when she actually says the word depression to herself, it's like, depression? I'm not depressed. I'm the lovable, happy-go-lucky Rena. There's nothing depressing about me.
And I'm like, oh, that hits too hard.
Chapter 4.
I got mad at Kishi in this one. Because...
Oh, he kept saying, like, I wish I could be an idiotic optimist like you.
And I was like, Kichi, you dumb fuck, they are divorced. That's literally what I wrote. I was so pissed off at him.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, but how is he supposed to know that her parents were divorced?
No.
No, but he could have shut the fuck up and just said something else. Like, you didn't have to keep harping on it. He did start to realize, I don't remember how far into this it was, but he did start to realize that maybe I should not be an asshole right now.
Yeah. Like,
and we haven't gotten
our
there
relationship
yet.
is that I tease her, she gets embarrassed. That's our thing. We both really like it, but he realizes that he went too far. That's what I think is important. Plus, if your argument is that her parents are divorced, and in his book, she has parents that are not divorced, it's like, I can get being mad at him, though, just because Rena.
Also, I wrote this down. Toxic positivity is going to be a big theme of this chapter, of this book, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it is for the first half.
oh boy.
But, the trying to keep up the appearances that just fall apart. Yeah. This is also the part where, she first talked about, like, I had to take out the I. Icky starts with an I, and I'm getting rid of all icky things. What icky thing could that possibly mean? Stroking my chin. Oh, but she also said, like, wait, incredible starts with an I, too.
dot. Scene change.
Before that, we see a bunch of men, like, leave the house. For like when Rena comes back to her house, and what I thought was going to happen is that, like, I thought that Rena took all the dad's money and he had to sell some stuff in order to pay her back, but he just was redecorating the house. So I got to the right answer, but with the wrong formula.
Good enough. The number one thing about this chapter, it's like the only thing about this chapter where I'm like, oh man, this makes me so happy. Kasai is in it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, what a bro.
And hey, guess who else is in this chapter? Shion. Guess who's a total bitch in this chapter? Shion. On perfectly on brand.
Oh, that's right. Shion had the fucking line where he said, "Oh no, Rena has a victim." Oh, that poor that guy. I guess he gets what he deserved.
And Kasai is like, what?
Dude, what? Why do I take care of you?
Seriously, Shion's such a bitch.
I did all this so I can fuck your mother. This sucks.
I mean, that is the long and short of it.
Really, though. Really.
Oh my god.
Before, though, we see Kasai. They aren't the only familiar face we see. Rana decides to go into a coffee shop, the Roost, to wait. Not actually the Roost. I call every coffee shop the Roost because of Animal Crossing. But beside the point, she goes to a coffee shop, and guess who's there?
The uncle this was the first time we actually see his sprite, right?
No, in book 5, we very randomly see his sprite like one time.
Yeah, I don't know why. You see that sprite more than you would see it in book 3, which you don't see at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if we had seen his, I mean, this is just dependent on the setting. But if we had just seen that sprite in book 2, this would have had a way bigger impact. But it's only
book 3.
It's only because I just kind of like reverse engineered it. Like, oh, that's I know that. That's the other uncle.
Yeah, everyone's favorite.
And I remember in the book, in one of the books, Teppei was living with with a mistress woman.
And I remember, Random, did you have that same thing where it's like, oh no, is this the setup for book 3?
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, I'm glad you both remembered.
Oh, we did, but we'll get to that later.
I generally thought like what was about to happen was that like she'd kill them, and then that would be she'd kill the Rina, and that would be the reason why Teppei decides to move back in and just start all this abuse, and now Rena has had to deal with the consequences of that.
But that brings up an interesting thing. What if that did happen?
What if that did happen?
Here's the number one thing that you have to answer, and like it's cute, I like it. But if she can see Teppei right there, and her dad is terrified of Teppei, and Teppei is threatening him, why wouldn't she kill him?
Maybe she didn't get the chance.
It's Rena we're talking about here.
Maybe he just
Rena. Look, the difference between Rena and then Shion and Keiichi is that unlike those two, Keiichi's book smart, I guess. Shion's just an idiot. Rena's smart. Keiichi may be book smart, but that's all he is. Shion is a nutcase. Rena's smart.
The one thing that kind of makes it tough to do the connection is that in book 3 that the corpse of Rina is found in a dumpster, I think it was.
The sewers, pretty much. It's like clogging up the sewers.
Okay. The sewers. So it would just have to be like how that body got to the sewers when all Rena really did was just bury them in the woods.
I have a theory, but I will get to that later. Anyway, so Teppei and Rina are loan sharks who basically who play a Badgers game, which I did not know about until this book. So thank you for teaching me something.
Marriage fraud, essentially. Yep. Setting up this game is like, how dare you have sex with my girlfriend, and she's pregnant. You have to give me all your money.
And then Shion's a bitch and just like, I hope she gets what he deserves. And where'd she go?
I love, oh my god, it's like not even that big of a diss, but it's just for some reason, Kasai's line, they're skunks. It's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you know it's coming from Kasai, you know it's true.
I mean, I love Kasai.
Yeah,
and they're even frightened of him, too.
Yeah, because Kasai is, he's a Sonozaki, of course, but if he knows if he knows Mion's mom, who is married to the head of this whole group, like, he's a big deal.
And these are the criminals that another criminal despises.
Yeah.
Like, these two are like, I'm Yakuza. These two are scum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goddamn. The only other thing I really have to say about Chapter 4 is, I don't understand, Mr. Krabs. How could you spend $100,000 in one night?
Hey, if I was coming through with the Ed and Eddie references, you had to come through with the SpongeBob references. It makes sense. All right, so Chapter 5 is next, and boy, howdy. So the first thing that I want to mention before anything, I wish I wrote the quote down, but Rena talks about aliens at one point.
I wish some big event would. This is Casey saying, I wish some big event would happen, like aliens coming to attack us or something. And Rena just saying, like, he's saying that, like, aliens come, destroy the earth, and burn all of Hinamizawa. Which I just want to point out that, like, he put destroy the earth and then burn all of Hinamizawa.
This also, guess who Rena mentions? Satoshi.
Yes, when she's thinking about how he was by himself and he didn't have anybody to help him. She relates her situation to his in that regard. Because Keiichi's talking about whatever, and she's like, I don't need to involve Keiichi in this. Satoshi did it by himself. All I did was offer my sympathy. I don't deserve anyone's help, which is like, she hates herself, she's depressed.
Yeah.
We see she goes to the house and Rina is there.
Yeah, Rena's there, and Rena wants to talk to her, and Rena's
like, no, bye!
Bye!
See ya.
I'm gonna avoid my problems.
Pretty much.
And then she goes to the dump, and then we hear a car drive by.
And then Rena just says, hey, I'm over here, and she's like, fuck. Why did I say that?
Yeah, she's literally like, why?
And Rina's like, hey, how do you feel about us as a couple?
Why would you ask that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like what was it that kind of becomes the catalyst where Rena just like, no, I don't want to see you again.
Rina is talking about tying the knot, and Rena's just like, no, I know what your plan is. It's you don't marry my father. And then Rina says, well, it's too late because I'm pregnant.
It's just like in a dime, and just all of a sudden she's saying, hey, I'm pregnant and I'm a Christian.
No, no, not a Christian.
No.
Anything but that.
Wait, you're not Southern Baptist, are you? Sorry. Sorry. Rena is no. Actually, Rena just goes straight for the neck. Like she makes
Rena just kills her.
No, that's the super important thing about this. I feel like Rena did not have any plans to kill Rena.
No,
it wasn't until Rena started strangling her neck. Was like, oh my god, she's gonna kill me. Finds the pipe lying on the ground because it's a dump. Just finds a pipe, and she's like, well, self-defense. I need to fix my problems.
Yep.
You gotta go.
And she thinks like to herself that's like, what if I actually did mean it? Like if I did plan to kill her, I couldn't have picked a better location. And then Teppei comes in. What was the? How did she lure him to the junkyard?
She said that Reina had some things about the plan that she wanted to tell him, and Teppei's dumb, so he went along with it. They went there. They went to where her little thing was. Her lighter, I think it was, her lantern, I think, went out. She was like, "Oh, sorry, it went out. I'll get her. We'll get a new light, whatever." He's like, "All right, make it quick." Oh, wait, I have a lighter. Lights it.
Yep, literally just stabbed with a hatchet.
And like, that's it. Just one hit, and that would
one hit and he's down.
And he's down.
Yeah, she's a lot more efficient. She's a lot more efficient than Keiichi.
I think I made some jokes about Rena as the Huntress in Dead by Daylight in Chapter 1.
Sure, I barely played that, so I'll let you have that joke.
Let's just say it fits her well. I didn't mean for it to fit her as well as it did, but it fit her very well.
Okay. Yeah, they chopped the pieces, put them in bags, put the bags inside a fridge. Nobody will look inside the fridge. And he goes back, and there's a good line where it's like, a tamed animal is still tamed even after the owner is dead.
Yep.
I really like that line.
Yep. But if you keep the door open, eventually it'll learn that it can leave.
Yeah. Keiichi eventually finds out about the divorce in this one. There's a really beautiful this probably showed up in the previous book. I just don't remember, but there's a beautiful little bit with like a piano and bells. That song, I really like that one.
It's super cheesy, but like, God, I love cheese. Provolone is my favorite flavor. When Satsuko is away and Ren is asleep, so it is the three of them, Mion, Keiichi, and Rika, are just talking about, like, life sucks. You might not have a family, but you have friends.
Oh, if you thought that taste of cheese was great. Ooh.
Oh, we got more.
All right, what's up next? Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. The meat of Chapter 6 is everyone. But before that, with the dismemberment, when they're at the classroom, I love this so much. When they're at the classroom, it's totally normal. They're going to play Mahjong, but Mion is Mion. Pieces are missing. She's like, and they're thinking about stuff to do. They're like, I don't want to play Mahjong. I don't want to play treasure, like hunt for the Mahjong pieces. It's boring. And then Mion's like, oh, hey, what about instead of hunting for the Mahjong pieces, we hunt for treasure? Let's go to the damn site. And the music starts playing. Oh, it's so good. And it's just like, it's such a casual conversation. Nobody's saying anything about how there's trauma or they killed people or things suck. It's just like, hey, club activity, let's go to the dumpster. Rika's, no, we shouldn't go there. I don't like ghosts. Satoko, I'm not afraid of ghosts. Rika's like, I see a ghost by you every night. Satoko's like, what? Keiichi starts making faces. She's like, stop it!
The music.
It's kind of funny, but you know where it's going. The music, and because you know where it's going, it's like,
and of course it cuts there, and it just takes you right back to the in medias res that we had at the beginning. But right before that, I just have to say, you just use salad oil for making salad. Why wouldn't you? I was so confused by that.
And Rena's like, I have to tell everybody you just said that. Everybody has to hear this. That's so
like
bad.
even I who
salad
cannot
oil.
cook.
Why would you use salad oil for cooking?
Now this is cooking.
Now
this is treasure hunting.
Now this is murder.
Oh. Oh.
Yes, so Satoko found the broken fridge. That's all we needed to know about the treasure hunt.
Okay, guys, there's so much to say just about this. Let you guys take the floor first.
Okay, random.
Oh fuck, why me? I don't really have much to say because most of my notes are like, this is emotional. Holy shit. Wow, Keiichi is actually saying the right thing for once.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he uses the power of words to like basically have one of the best moments in the series, I think.
The most if the book ended at this chapter, it would have already beaten book 1 like easily.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't.
I'm glad it didn't because holy shit. But
yeah, cause like holy shit, what happened? But like this. This is like, I understand why this is Kirby fans' favorite.
I tried to keep it in the air. This is the point where like that vein of mystery just shatters. Easily. It's not even close.
Do you know how I found out? Because this is where it became my favorite.
I was just gonna... Oh wait.
Yeah, because this is, or at least this, if this is not my favorite book, this is one of my favorite scenes in all of Higurashi, just because it's so like, just the fact how it just like builds and builds with positivity of like how Keiichi sets to the point that they are friends and they will always be there for each other no matter what. Yep. The fact it ends with all of them like holding hands together, just uniting to work together and be there for one another. It's just so sweet. And who left this bowl of onions here?
Specifically, Keiichi describes it as we all touched our foreheads together and in a circle and cried.
Oh my god.
I will say Rena, she fights the good fight of like, no, I need to do this on my own for a while, and then just Keiichi just wears her down. And like gets to her because he's the only one who really can, I think.
Yeah, no, with how he is with words and how he wasn't there in 1982, he's genuinely the only person who could.
Because she calls out everybody.
When I read it this time, when she got to Satoko and she was like, Satoko sinned, I remember thinking like, is that the right word considering the trauma that Satoko had gone through? But there's a backup for this, and that's Keiichi being like, Rena, you don't actually believe any of this. Like, yeah, what she did wasn't perfect, but you don't believe that they're bad people or bad friends, that they have to repent. You don't actually believe this. This is a defense mechanism to make you happier, but that's not what it's accomplishing. What will make you happier is by being with your friends. Let us help you.
It's the sort of thing where it's like, if I can't be happy, no one can be.
Yeah. He literally calls out her depressive ass bullshit. And I don't mean like her depression is bullshit. I mean that how she's responding to it is toxic. And Keiichi is calling that shit out.
But it's also something that like it is emotionally appropriate, like emotionally correct. Like in her in that deep dark spot where she's at, like this makes sense to her. And that's especially correct. And and also like Satoko accepting her sin which also has its own sort of like, oh no, that's so sad.
And the saddest part being Satoko saying he's not coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, Satoko actually says like that won't bring back Nini. Like this is something that like even in book 5, even when Satoko is literally being tortured to death, she's still waiting for Nini. I mean, it's great. It's excellent, but it sucks.
That's Higurashi.
Yep. This is the Higurashi I was waiting for after book 1.
And then that moment happens, and everybody's crying, and then they hide a body together.
They hide a body together. They like Rika carried the bag. Mion used her detailed knowledge of hiding corpses.
Yep. Don't think I didn't notice that.
And Satoko uses her trap knowledge to camouflage. Like, finally, I've been waiting for that damn power to pay off.
Oh, it pays off a couple times this chapter. Actually,
Yep.
this whole book.
And then at the end of it, Dad, he says like, I got great news. I found a job with some old friends from a previous job, and it's like, oh my god, everything is turning up, Renna.
Everything's coming up, Renna.
Yep. And she does not feel that happy. She feels exhausted, which right now we think, oh, it's just because that moment was great,
just so
but
much.
also exhausting.
Yeah, everything.
Well, she says herself, I don't know whether to be, like, the happiest I've ever felt or the most frustrated. Like, they just found me.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
it. But every time she got mad, all she would think about was Kiichi grabbing her hand.
Yeah, it's just like, God, I can't wait to play with my friends at Watanagashi next Sunday.
Ah.
But, and like, even that wasn't enough. And this is another reason why, like, I would have been so happy if it just ended at chapter 6. At the bonus at the end is, hey everybody, we're gonna go cut down the trees in the Forbidden Forest. Come along. If we found any treasures.
Yeah.
Just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Oh god, I was like that too. I literally go, no, don't cut down the trees. No, don't bring the kids. Bring the kids and the whole family.
Bring a shovel.
Hey, Dad, I found something. Ah!
It's around this point, having read it already, I do ask myself, what is Higurashi really about? Because there are a lot of things that Higurashi is about. It's about being new, somewhere that you're not familiar with, being nervous, paranoid, unfamiliar with things. It's about a lot. But the core theme throughout every single one of the books, even Higurashi 4 with Akasaka doing everything that he does for his wife, it's a story about friends. About the tragedy of these people who love each other and through one reason or another grow suspicious and hate each other. And you see time and again how, everything they have is great, but something always happens and they lose it. And this is the first time that doesn't happen. They still get to stay together. They're all, well, I mean, obviously, we'll see what happens later. But this is the one where Keiichi says straight up, no, I understand why you did what you did. If it was for a bad reason, I wouldn't forgive you. But you were in a corner. You thought this was the only option you had. I forgive you. And one by one, everybody goes to her and tells her, we forgive you. We're still your friends. Rika says something like, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met. You never give up.
Yeah.
And Mion admitting that she did the wrong thing with Satoshi. Satoko accepting that she did the wrong thing, but she's willing to move on. It's beautiful. It is my favorite scene in Higurashi because it is the perfect representation, I think, of what the whole series is about.
And at the end,
you can say bonds, you can say friendship, you can say whatever you want. They didn't make all the right choices. It's just the difference is now they're starting to make the right choice. And seeing the fruits of that is beautiful. That's all.
Chapter 7. You know it's the start of the festival when you hear a shouting hot dog vendor.
Look, if there's one thing that we have to talk about with Chapter 7, nothing to do with the festival. Oishi calls Rena outside. She asks who he says. He says, "Let's talk in my air-conditioned car."
He said the line! He said the line!
I even wrote, he even used the air conditioning line. Because it's word for word what he says to Kichi in the book 1.
My car has air conditioning is the literal line. I wrote it down. But we also have to mention that this is the... Oh, is this the first time? It's probably not the first time that we actually go see Uishi's perspective, right?
It's not the first time we see his perspective, but it's definitely the first time we see his perspective at the festival.
True.
Yeah. And you can even... It sucks, because everyone's having fun and Rena's off. Like, she's with them, but she's not, because she still doesn't know how to feel about everything. It's so sad.
And that's why Uichi chooses her, I think.
I love that, yeah. I'm with you. I think because he notices that she's not with everybody else, all the suspicion is on the Sodazakis. That's what Uichi wants to get to the bottom to. Yeah, Rena and Mion are friends, but are they that close if she's that far away? Like, she's perfect for this.
Because originally, I think Uichi chose Kichi because he was the outsider, or most outsider of the group.
If you want to make it even simpler than that, at the festival, Keiichi was separated from everybody, talking to Takano and Tomitake. And as we know from book 2, Oishi saw them that night.
Right.
So it just stands to reason that he saw Keiichi away from everybody else. Perfect.
Yep, that's all he needed.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel like you got a big brain when you put that stuff together.
Oh, God. and honestly, speaking of Takano and Tomitake, they don't even get a line in this.
He doesn't get a line?
Well, no, Takano does.
Tomitake!
During the festival. During the festival, you mean.
Tomitake, you just see his face and then it cuts to his death.
This poor guy, 6 books now, is just like...
There's a narrator who is not Uichi, I don't think, because you see Uichi's portrait. And there's this unnamed narrator who I think we're gonna find out about in the future. And it always says Tomitake always dies. Why does he always die?
See, the trouble is, especially, like, I agree that there is some notice of that, but thing is, that was showing up a lot in, especially at the last chapter, where we see Uishi's perspective, but it's not saying, like, it's not using like I, me, my. It's just saying Uishi, but it's clearly from his perspective. So it's just all of a sudden we're switching from first to third person.
I think they're planning something with that.
Possibly, but it's I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
If they are planning something with that, they definitely planned it during the Takano Tomitake scene. I have a theory. It's crazy. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
We're in book 6. We know what the festival is. I do want to mention, because we were talking earlier about the possible connections with the with book 3, and that possibly Rena killed Rina in the background, and that started the everything that happened. Here's the so if that is the case, we don't know anything. We don't know what truly happened yet in that festival when Casey wasn't there. So is it possible that Rena was still feeling distant during that festival, and we just never know?
I like your interpretation that she is still feeling distant from everybody at the festival, and it's Keiichi winning her the big bear that really makes her feel welcome.
Yeah.
God, I love that, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I was just saying words. No, there's nothing to add. Just that, like, it's, at the very least, it's very easy to assume, even if Rina doesn't, like, show up and ruin everything, her home life's not great.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's a constant through this, because, I mean, up until Casey moves in, everything is a constant in Higurashi. And then, from Casey moving in up until June 25th, it could, like, who knows what happens, but we all know what happens.
Who the hell knows?
Yep.
We will get to that.
So chapter 7,
It's another one of those things where it's like, I can handle it. This is really the only one where things
really
get, like,
gory.
Super, yeah, I don't even want to say gory, just like grotesque. I don't quite want to say gory. It's probably just because Higurashi 5 exists. But things definitely do take a turn for the more horrific here. And I really like it, not because I'm necessarily a fan of the horror, but because it really, kind of like how in Higurashi 3, it's like, oh man, you really see into the mind of a murderer. You really get to see inside of the mind of just somebody who's so troubled and is pretty much just being overdosed on drugs to fix the problem.
Yeah, oh my god.
It's grotesque. It's disgusting. It's good.
It's so good. Because we're wondering, we think it could be real at this point. We think it could be a curse, that she's seeing a curse.
I mean, you're right. The reason why I like it so much is that, let's just say that, I mean, are there really maggots in her neck? Who knows? But pretty reasonable to assume no, that's just part of her mental damage. That doesn't change the fact that it is written in a way that Rena is experiencing this, she's feeling this, she's going through this. At multiple points, Takano even stops her and she's like, are you okay? Or if you're not comfortable, you don't have to keep talking about this. It's fine.
Oh yeah, God. Yeah, like Takano for once doesn't look down at her. For once.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because it's Oyashi Hirosama's stuff. You know, Takano loves that stuff. I wouldn't put too much bank into Takano.
Yeah, no. Not at all. In fact, I have another theory.
Takano is directly responsible for both an overthrow of the Sonozaki's family and someone trying to bomb a school. She
think about this. She is also responsible for putting the idea in Keiichi's head that you can control Oyashi Hirosama's curse in book 3. And she is even also responsible for putting all the nasty ideas in Keiichi's head in book 2 that leads him to believe what Shion says.
Yep.
And all because she wants to sell some shitty novels.
I know.
God.
Yeah, I would not put much bank in her being a good person.
God.
I have a theory, but we'll get to that.
Gosh, is there...
So one more note from me, and then I'll shut up, because I feel like Watch has something to say about, like, the mental health stuff. Other than Chapter 6, which is, like, my favorite thing ever. The best thing about this book is the font change on Rena. The more that she succumbs to paranoia and fear and potential insanity, the darker her font color gets. It's so good. Remember in Higurashi 1 how talking to Oishi is what sowed the seeds for Keiichi? It's the same here.
Oh, wow.
Her font is pink. Oishi comes up. He talks about air-conditioned cars. She's at the library, and her text is kind of like in beige, orange-ish kind of color. Because she's starting to feel doubt, paranoia, fear, anxiety, all this stuff. Well,
when did I notice this? Did I notice this in...
Well, I don't notice it because I'm colorblind, so that's fine.
I noticed this in chapter 10. That's when...
Oh, that's pretty far. Text is like red at that point.
That's where I was like, wait the fuck. Like, it was obvious to me. The other times I did not notice at all.
God damn. This, especially I'm gonna say this, and I'll talk about it some more, but this has been a very educational book so far, because I've had to look up so much stuff during this. Like, I did not know about delusional parasitosis. Like, god damn, that is fascinating to me.
I still didn't know what that is, but I'm gonna look it up now.
You saw it. It's the delusions of maggots. Yeah. It's the delusions that you have a parasite inside of you, and you're suffering the symptoms of a parasite. It takes a lot to just say to somebody, no, you don't. You're fine. It's psychosomatic. You're creating it in your head. And that's creating stuff in your head. That's a pretty common thing.
Very common.
We'll get to that.
Oh god, the doctor even saying like, hey, the father, we have to be careful because like the father might remarry. The doctors planned all of this, and the dad didn't pay attention.
Yeah, the dad didn't do shit. I funny that I asked this. I literally go, how many scrapbooks does Takano have? She gave one to Shion. She gave one to Rena. Because, like, I like to think that she gave them to both. I'm like, how many does she have? And my question gets answered much later.
Yeah.
I thought had happened was that, like, there was the one scrapbook, and like two different people got two different interpretations. Because I thought it was just like Shion just decided to pay attention to like the Sonozaki stuff and just skip the aliens. Like, nah, that's kind of boring.
I mean, yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
But yeah.
Is there a shopping list at the back at the end of the tip?
Yes, there is.
At the whole prognosis about like what to be done about Rena, and then at the back, one of the doctors decided to just write down like what he wants. Like, I want a large fried rice, some Shanghai style gomoku yakisoba.
Can I get a number 9?
Get me some noodles.
2 number 9s. A
number 9.
A number 6 with extra dip. One with cheese. And a large, what is this? A large bento. Also, I forgot about this. Hey, let's play a nice board game to calm Rena's nerves. Oh, let's play a murder detective game.
Literally the same one that they played when Oishi will decide.
I would waiting for something to. I would waiting for it to like be a trigger for Rena. That's like, Rena was the murderer. It's like,
it was Rena in the junkyard with a hatchet. Oh fuck!
No.
Yeah, then it's like, awkward.
We're just kidding, guys. Ha ha ha. Nobody heard that. Ha ha
ha. Naturally, I was wrong. It's in the school. Oh, fuck.
Okay. Chapter 8.
Yeah, chapter 8.
This one I have a little less notes about, because it's mostly just reading from the books, and it's an interesting new theory. I did pique my interest, this conspiracy, this idea that the Oyasura was an actual doctor protecting from the Magus, and it goes into some of the science of parasites that they're looking for a superior host, and sometimes they're not so bad.
Yeah, no, my big note here, which I mean winds up being explained like 1 or 2 chapters later anyway, so it's like whatever. But my big thing here is the white van.
The white van comes by, and like, Rena is. This is something where it's like, I don't know if the author like knows this from experience, or if he just did a lot of research. But like the people with like this level of paranoia and this level of conspiracy mindset, like the mistrusting of cars. That is so common.
Yeah, I don't know the guy, so I can't comment specifically, but do you remember that he did spend 10 years as a public servant for people? So it wouldn't surprise me if it was his experiences with said other people that got him to this point.
Yeah, that's what just makes it trickier, is just like what the order is. But yeah, it is. It like. You can find YouTube videos of people just uploading like yellow cars because they think like all yellow cars are part of THEM.
I'm not gonna slam Higurashi 1 for only giving us Keiichi's perspective. It is a question arc. You are supposed to leave that stuff open, but now that we're getting to the answers and stuff, I think it's really cool that we get both of these perspectives.
Yes,
oh yeah.
Yes. You see from both sides, and it's certainly, see, we were thinking like, why is it that this whole town hates Uishi? Is it because like everybody he talks, this conspiratorial cop just poisons everybody's mind with the I don't know how much this this will help your case, but I heard, god damn, it's just destroying everybody's ideas and making everybody like mistrust their own friends too. Like we
which we will 100,000 trillion% get to that.
God.
But is there anything else? Is there anything else on chapter 8? Random. Do you have anything?
I'm looking through my notes. I'm just noticing like everything in book 1 is happening to Rena in this book. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we'll get to specifics later, but not only book 1, book 6 is the like how book 5 was the answer arc for book 2. This is the answer arc for book 1. I love the book 3 links that you guys are making because there are a ton to be made. But if we want specifically like answers, it's more so for book 1. Some for 3 are sprinkled in there too. But even more than like Keiichi and Rena are like they are such good foils to each other.
Yep. Just want to say, let's go to chapter 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, chapter 9. Okay. You sent me a lot of messages during this chapter, Random. So
I did. I was in full conspiracy theorist mode. This was my shit. I was buying it all. I was like, oh God, it is the Dr. Erie's responsible. He's the one who's planning everything. Higurashi is zombies too. And I don't know why I put that in my notes, but I did. But Hinami Misawa was quarantined all this time. God, they're all parasites. I believed it, like hook, line, and sinker. I believed everything. I'm so glad I wasn't in this book because I would have killed everyone. I believe the bioterrorism thing made sense to me because
the way they say this. Sorry to interrupt, but they say this. Like, the way that Takano writes this stuff and puts the pieces together, like, that's the scary thing with conspiracy theories, is that they sound legit. Yep. They sound convincing.
They do.
It reminds me of, like, there was a conspiracy that, like, what was it? Avril Lavigne, the singer of Skater Boy, that she had been replaced by a different person, and like there's this list of conspiracies, and you can see online there's all these people like, this sounds so plausible, but if you just pick out one of them, it's just like, but does that actually exist? they talk about like an interview, it's like, but does that actually exist? And this is the same thing where it's just like, it's all these things that's like semi-plausible, and it connects to other things that become semi-plausible because of a previous conclusion. And it just spirals into, well, surely they're aliens.
Really quick, and then I'll let Random talk again. But literally, in the last episode that we recorded, I remember saying, God, I really hate that, like, literally everything has to be connected together. I remember sitting there just being like,
You made us theorize shit on purpose, didn't you?
We will get there. But Random.
Okay. All right. We'll get back to that. Yeah, I was hook, line, and sinker to all this stuff because I watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I watched Gravity Falls. This is my shit. I love looking into conspiracy theories like this. But I also put in the notes, I miss you, Neutron. Yes.
Oh, he comes back.
And I remember, like, Kichi's like, you know what? I should probably go talk to Mion. And at first I'm like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. And
you sent me that message, and I was like, oh my God, he's fully convinced about Takano's notes. He's fully into it. Oh no.
I was. And then Mion's just so casually just like, nah, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, she just writes some weird shit, some cold shit. She's done it before.
I love how Mion just trashes, like, she just picks apart everything. My favorite is that Keiichi's like, but all these test results, and Mion's like, oh, really? Where did Takano get those results? Did she pull everybody in at one time and take samples? And Keiichi's like,
Exactly.
So
just like, it's a semi-plausible conclusion, but you just have to, like, pick at that to really...
Yep. Oh yeah, did she tell you about all the UFOs and all the stuff like that? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
That's Higurashi.
And then we see the white van, and
oh my god, we have to talk about that.
And I'm like,
Christ.
oh god, is Curry teacher part of it? And they're like, no, we're gardeners. We're here to help out with the school.
When Rena started Rena things, it literally read like Keiichi and Higurashi 1.
It did.
It's oh my god.
But no, it turns out that like the gardener just switched phone numbers. Idiot.
Once they explained the numbers for the gardener were different because of that, I was like, oh shit.
No, that's
No, my favorite, because this is super what Keiichi would do at Higurashi 1. From Keiichi's perspective, you hear the gardeners talk about everything. It's all super normal. Everything, honestly, very lax, very pleasant, if I say so myself.
Yeah.
And then Rena misses out on like 3 words, and she fills in the blanks herself, and she's like, I'm rewinding. Literally, she says, I'm rewinding the camera in my head, which is what Keiichi does in Higurashi 1 after the door scene in that tip when they're at the grocery store. That's what he literally does. He's like, I'm rewinding it in my head, just trying to look over every detail. And it's just, oh, guys.
So I literally write in my notes, so the real enemy was ourselves overthinking?
I mean, are you right?
I'm not wrong. You're not wrong. And this is the part where it gets slightly redder. And yeah, she does sound like Keiichi from Higurashi 1. And do I make the connection? No, I don't make it yet. Where I'm like, wait a minute. And Keiichi act like this. If it did this, oh no.
oh no.
I literally write, oh god, now I do. I go, oh god, now I am doubting all of the overthinking the series has ever done.
And the reason why, so I mean, it's cool. I love that Higurashi presents you with like all these theories, and it's just like, no.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like it so much is because a lot, especially when you reread this, you really feel the whole time there's that logical common sense side of the book saying, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's there full throttle, even from Higurashi 1.
Oh, especially.
It's not like they just pull, it's not like, oh, this is a story about fantasy, but it's real. It's like, this is a story about maybe fantasy, maybe not. Chapter 10.
Wait, hold on. Shit, I don't remember why I wrote it, but I wrote down, somebody's poisoned the water hole. So that's where I end off chapter 9, chapter 10.
So chapter 10, I don't know if it's chapter 10 or chapter 11, depends on how you want to look at it, I guess, but I feel like chapter 9 is the big turning point. Like, this is where it's like, okay, we're getting to, I mean, we're still like 3 chapters away from the end game, right? But like, we're getting to the end game now. This is where everything is starting to come together, starting to build.
Yeah, this is where she steals the money.
But it's not coming up Rena anymore.
So did you guys, when did it click that the mystery of Teppei's body in book 3 was explained? When did that click?
As soon as it was gone, and I knew Mihan was involved with it, because when it was gone here, I was like, Mihan took the bodies here. He probably took the bodies in book 3 because Keiichi didn't make it subtle that he was going to do what he was going to do.
Exactly. And hey, you know, they were going to explain it to him. You know, they asked him to go treasure hunting with them.
Yeah.
But Keiichi made a bigger deal out of it than he should have because, so.
Yeah.
I like to, what I like to think with that is that, that like in book 3, Rena did kill and like the Mian decides to like go through the forest and just finds these bodies. Like, I guess we better take care of these bodies as well.
Like pure raw coincidence, yeah.
But wait a minute, hold on. You can't explain why was Takano dead for 24 hours? My God.
They fucked up.
Okay, they fucked up. Yeah, he's made a clerical error. Whoops. And Uichi just like said it and just like, isn't that funny?
Again, though, that's another one where it's like, Uichi even brings this up in book 2, how it's like, it's just her dental records. Like, what is more convincing? Her dental records or the fact that people have literally seen her when she's supposed to be dead? Like, this doesn't add up.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's like, oh, it's not her, it's another one of those things that it's like, it doesn't really come out of left field for me. If anything, it's like, this is a much better explanation than anything else I could think of. It's literally the answer is just that it's like, she's not dead. Or she might be dead, who knows, but that's not her body.
Oh, God.
I said this before. I don't think Wash like fully agrees, but we can talk about it. Rena, the Sonozakis are after you. What's going on? Boss, big news. The Sonozaki member that is after Rena is Kasai. Kasai, the right-hand man of one of the leaders? She's in big trouble. Oh, she ran away from home. We gotta find her. We gotta put her under police protection. So Kasai is like, oh yeah, it's just because she wanted to see me before. Gets a phone call. The police are after her. We have to protect her. Mion tells Keiichi, oh, we have to, is it because we figured out that she hid the bodies? Rena sees the Sonozakis later, and they're talking about how there's another Rena because that's the alibi that Keiichi and Mion came up with. It's true, the aliens are here. It's just everything, it's so
It is.
It's so comical.
Like, if this were a different tone, it would be a comedy.
It's so funny. Every time I get to this point, I lose it. I have to like stop reading. I'm laughing so hard.
It doesn't help that at a certain point, Uishi says that I can't guarantee that we don't have a traitor among us. Sorry.
Among us.
I know it's 2022.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah, Uichi's phone conversation with Rena was chilling. Because Uichi believes her.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, we find out later, he's like, why did I believe her? But
yeah, but
he's fully, because he just wants anything to get the Sonozakis. He's just all he cares about.
Exactly, like, he's in that same, like, conspiracy, but also, like, Rena is just sane enough to realize, I'll save the alien stuff for later.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Chapter 11.
No, there's a lot to this. Let's save the Keiichi reveal for the end.
Oh, yeah.
So everything before that, jeez, oh, God. So, I don't know, do you want to start with, like, the start of the chapter with Rena being paranoid, or Rika?
Let's start with Rena being paranoid, because I love, out of all the places she's thinking where the secret laboratory could be, she thinks it's going to be in the shrine, where we know it's not there.
Yes. I love the timing of this because we've been in that shrine already for way too long, might I add. So for her to be saying like, oh, it's in there, it's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Because she's in that same spot as Takano, just like creating whatever could possibly make sense, and then as soon as she makes that conclusion, she's stuck there.
And this is the point where any denial she's given, she connects it somewhere to her theory. Like, nothing can prove her theory wrong.
Yeah, this is the point of no return, because this happens a lot with conspiracy theories, especially the kind where it gets like, again, it's like, how much does she is this personal experience? Because like this is part and parcel so often that there's just a point of no return where like not even family members are gonna convince you that like, no, this sucks, because those kind of conspiracy theories would be like they got to my family and I have to protect my family. Oh God.
Yeah, to link it to book 1 again, when Keiichi slammed the door on Rena's fingers, that was his point of no return, so to speak.
Yes. Oh
God. Rika,
I'm gonna be a bit quiet on this one because I need to hear you two on this, because I did not understand I did not understand what was happening.
Oh, I have a theory.
Well, no, I think they spelled it out pretty clearly. Rika's an alien. Her body was replaced.
That's the problem, is that it seemed a lot like they spelled it out clearly, but I didn't catch it very well.
Oh no, I was joking. Rena's totally lost it at this point.
Oh,
I was just joking.
Okay.
I mean, like, so what you have to keep in mind is that when I'm talking to you guys like this, I know the answers, but I'm telling you things based on what my first impressions were when I was going through it. It's more fun that way, quite frankly.
I know she's...
When I got to this point in my first go through, I'm like, Rena's so far gone, like, alien stuff. Well, I mean, I love Rena, but still.
But Rika,
Go ahead.
I at first I was like, is it... Because Rika did have the syringe with Shion.
With Shion, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
But also, was she in the right frame of mind?
So here's what I thought, again, when I was where you guys were. I also agreed with both of your time loop theories. I thought it was Rika. I thought Rika, because she was the quote-unquote reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama, and because she dies so much, we don't really see it in Higurashi 1, but 2, 3, 4, 5, and as we see 6, like, she dies a lot. I was thinking that she was the one going through the time loop. I'm not sure why she was dying. I had some theories on that, which we'll get to when we finish. But I was fully convinced that it's like, I think it's Rika.
Yeah, I don't think Rika is responsible for the deaths per se, but Rika might be a Time Lord.
100% I thought she was involved one way or the other, just because of how different. Even in, I know I said I went through the anime first, but even in the anime, she's like super different.
Rika is a Time Lord who...
like Rika wanting to kill Shion, totally fine. You have my approval of that. But killing Rena, I think something's fishy.
To be fair, she doesn't straight out force her. She's just like, you can do it if you want.
Oh, it was this line. This was when I was. She doesn't say it in the anime, but like, there's so many more. I thought the VN was going to go in a totally different direction. It's so different. But Rika says the line, I've tried this so many times, and it never worked, so I'm just going to give you the option.
And she doesn't take it.
Oh, yeah. That was another clear thing. It's like, oh, she knows what's been happening.
Something is odd about her, and something tells me that's going to be explained later in the books. Hopefully where she's a protagonist, please. And we're just not going to supposed to find out.
I don't know if my heart
yet.
can take it.
I have a theory, but I'll talk about that at the end. But right now, whatever Rika says does not help her out with help Rena out with just the madness she's going through. In fact, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So much so that when Kichi comes in later to try and snap her out of it, she not only denies everything and is like, "Oh, you don't you trust me? Oh wait, Luigi told me about you." And how the monster you are with your BB guns.
I mean, like even before that, to again call back to book 1, because God, when he shows up and Rena is explaining everything to him, and he's like, "Rena, please, just I have food at my house, a comfortable bed. You need sleep, you need rest. We can talk about this in the morning. Just let me help you. Let me help you." And inside Rena's head, she's like, "You can trust Keiichi. There's no reason to doubt him." Except, which is exactly like Keiichi with Rena with the breaking the windows, all that stuff.
Yep. Oh, it literally happened.
But, Keiichi, who wants to be the one to break the bad news about our boy Keiichi?
Yeah, he did some terrible shit back in the day. He literally poked a girl's eye out with a BB gun. Well, not poked it out, but like...
Shot it.
Shot it.
Yeah.
And it goes into more detail in the next chapter, but this is like the reveal. And Rena uses it as an excuse.
Like, why does she know about that?
And I feel like, oh shit, the same thing that happened with Uichi and Ichi happened to Rena. And you know what? Rena responded to, you're right, Rena responded the same damn way. And she used it as a way to not be friends with her anymore.
Yeah, she even says friends don't keep secrets from each other.
Which is not true.
And if that's the case, you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Which you're right, that's not true, but
that's almost manipulative.
That's been a very consistent thing with this, is friends don't keep secrets from friends. And it turns out, that's kind of stupid. And I gotta point this out. When, like there's a line, from Casey's perspective, like, when he's saying, like, don't you remember, like, what we said together that day? And there's the line, Rena played with her wrist. Oh, that's so good. The callback to, like, the feeling of warmth that she had. It was kind of the one thing that was grounding her for a bit.
Yeah.
that she's just thinking like I can't. It's like, do I trust Casey? I don't know if I trust Casey, but she just kept thinking back to the warmth she felt on her wrist, and she's at that point once again, and she's like that warmth is going away, because I don't trust you right now because of who you used to be, not because of who you are.
It's deep. It's deep. Speaking about wild rides, chapter 12. We made it. We made it. You guys, we finally made it.
Holy shit.
So, okay, before we get into the big reveal, Keiichi.
Yeah, we learned about his back. First off, before this, even that, I love how the classmates say, "Oh, Reno's not here. She must have been demoned away." And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, based on the last 5 books that we've read, 4, I guess. That's not too far off.
Yeah. I mean, we took it so seriously, and now that's like, no, this is all logical explanations.
It was just kids being really shitty.
So yeah, Keiichi, if you remember back to book 3, Keiichi does say, while he's going through his backstory there, that something happened that made him move to Hinamizawa, but he doesn't say what it is. He leaves that completely blank, because he doesn't want to think about it. So we find out that at some point he got bored of getting good grades. People stopped paying attention to him. His parents just started expecting it. His teachers put more work on him, and he didn't like doing it anymore. So he wanted to relieve some stress. So what he did was that he had a BB gun that said "don't shoot people," which gave him the idea to shoot people. He specifically targeted children because they were smaller and weaker than him. And it gave him this sense of superiority that he had completely missed from that rush that he had before. And by mistake or not, he took it too far and shot a little girl in the eye.
Yep.
And that is when he regretted it. He wanted to start his life over. His parents wanted to start everything over. So they moved to Hinamizawa, where Keiichi is where he is now.
Fuck.
It's rough.
It's rough.
Like catchphrase of the story. It's rough. It's good.
Yes. This is kind of like the Woody, no, but Woody already did it. So
yeah.
Because like we've grown to love Keiichi as the protagonist we know and love. I mean, we hate him at points because he's a fucking idiot sometimes, but we still love him because his heart's in the right place. And but at the same time, we're like reading this. I'm like, no, what? No. And basically, I would just worry if his friends were going to disown him for something in the past, I was gonna stop reading the book.
But his friends are like, I mean, that sucks, but why are you telling us this?
His friends don't keep secrets.
I don't care. This isn't me. Like if go tell that to like Rika literally says, that's like if you're asking for forgiveness, I can't give you that. I'm not the victim. You if you went through the punishment and everything like that, then you're fine. It doesn't change how I see you, because I know that you're a good person. And
yeah.
Like God. And that becomes the catalyst to remember.
Well, wait. But really quick before that, I love how on brand Satoko and Mion's answers are, which are, you think that's bad? You should have seen what we did.
Yeah, honest to God. Mion's like, I threw bricks.
Like, literally, the reason why Keiichi's is, like, on its own, just shooting people with a BB gun, like, it's bad. You shouldn't do it, but, like, is it life-changing? I don't know, but it's the fact that it's, like, little kids that he's targeting, and he shot someone in the eye. That's what makes it bad, but, like, if it's just like, oh, you shot kids with a BB gun, you should have seen me during the damn riot. I was in jail.
Like, a lot. I went to jail a lot. And, like Satoko, like, surprisingly, says something really smart. It's like, even if like, the opposite is true. Like, even if you did something great in the city, if you were nasty here, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's not. It's like that's just not how I know you. Like I know you as Keiichi.
Okay, so I think I know the answer, but I'm just gonna throw it out anyway. I guess I'll ask both questions. A, is this a good answer for Higurashi 1? And is this a satisfying answer for Higurashi 1?
Define answer. What do you mean by that?
I think Kirby means, is this a good answer to book 1? As in why Kichi did what happened at the end of it. Like,
well, not even like the end of it, like
throughout all of it.
Every mystery of Higurashi, every mystery pertaining to Keiichi and Higurashi 1 is just flat out answered here.
Oh, yep. It was like...
Yeah.
It was just Keiichi overreacting.
There wasn't a needle, it was just hot sauce. It was a hell of a thing to get confused.
Yeah, and it literally explains why he couldn't find it later in the book. Because it wasn't there.
Because it wasn't there. This seems to be the trend, so random. You go first.
Okay. Was it good? Yes, to me. I thought I appreciate it, because I was like, if they have, because if it was turned out to be aliens were the reason, I would have just been like really dissatisfied.
I would have loved it.
Because Chorn.
Well, Chorn, of course, but like, I like this because we see it happen in book 6, and then to have it be like, yeah, all that shit where you're rooting for Keiichi as a conspiracy theorist and like all that was just him doing what Rena's doing, and yeah, he killed his friends for no reason.
And his friends still forgave him.
Yep, which, am I satisfied with this? Yes and no. Because I'm satisfied because it's so good, but not satisfied because it's so sad!
That's fair!
Oh, damn! Like, and also, I was just freaked out because they were referencing other books. How the fuck is this possible? That's
the point where it's like, oh no.
Oh no.
This is what I love so much. The characters all say the things that they said. It's not Keiichi hearing, I love you as I want you to die. Everything that the characters are saying, he is hearing as they said. He's just misinterpreting what they're saying because, God, the guy's on like night 12 of no sleep or whatever. Oishi just told him Tomitake died right after he was talking to him about maybe dying. Rena's saying, we all have secrets we want to keep, and he doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Which, I mean, she's in the right to keep her secrets, but I'm just saying, he doesn't know. He's feeling left out as it is. Now he's like, oh God, they're gonna kill me. I don't blame Keiichi for thinking what he thinks. It just sucks.
Because he let the conspiracy theory get the best of him.
Yeah.
He let his emotions and all his trauma and mental illness get the best of him.
Hey, while you're sleeping, I'm gonna draw on your shirt.
No!
We're gonna do to you what we did to Tomitake, which was right on your shirt. Get better soon. We haven't heard Wash's thoughts yet. What are your thoughts, Wash?
No, I'm pretty much with random. That's like this is again like going back to what I was saying. It's like I was liking this, the way this was handled a lot better versus book 5, because you literally see the process of just generating a conspiracy from your own mind. And it gets buck wild. This is really good. Is it satisfying? I think I could probably again like just say it with random that is like it makes sense. It's just sad, and it's obviously there's still some questions that we have, so we'll get there.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's still Rika dying. There's still this disaster that we don't know if it's a conspiracy. Like, there's still things, but as far as, I don't even want to say, like, the core of Higurashi, but as far as, like, book 1, we pretty much have, I don't know how nice of a bow it is. It's a very sad little bow, but it is still wrapped up in a bow.
Yeah. What was it that Mion had that wasn't a syringe?
Felt marker, so she could write on his shirt like they did with Tomitake when he was about to leave. It's sad.
Why did he think that was well, lack of sleep? That's why.
Yeah, and I mean, like, okay, I want to bring this up because of all things, when we were talking about last night in Soho, I remember Wash specifically saying how easy it is when you're under mental stress to mistake objects. And I almost said, yeah, like mistaking a syringe and a felt marker, but I had to stop myself.
Thank you for not doing that. Because I would have connected the dots.
I think I remember you saying, like, no, wait, never mind, we haven't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
That's right. I do want to say this, like, poor Chie, the teacher.
Yeah, she probably doesn't get curry anymore.
No.
That joke is great. That joke is excellent.
We didn't get there yet, but like she comes in just to see Kichi crying. His eyes out.
The kid is crying, and like the teacher is here is like, I just wanted us to talk about improper fractions.
I love when she asks. She's like, "What's going on?" Satsuko and Mion are like, "Do we look like we know?"
I mean, Rika's
my favorite thing. The anime does this too. It's so great when Keiichi hugs Mion to tell her that the food she made was delicious. Satsuko is just like, "I don't know what to do. I'm out of here." Because I love Satsuko. She's an idiot.
Yep, she's just like, I can't handle this. And meanwhile,
so
Mion's like fucking blushing and shit because
she's great.
It's kind of revealed. It's revealed in book 5 that she has a crush on Kichi. With that, so
you can chase that back as far as like book 1 technically, but super book 2.
Yeah, super
book 2. Oh yeah,
the
blushing. Aww.
Like the Mia, I have 2 ships, Kichi and Rena, and Kichi and Mion, and I
gotta pick one random. You can't do that.
Listen.
Can they be polyamorous, please?
I'll say this. I was gonna say, I'll say this right now. Growing up, when I first went through Higurashi, I was hardcore the Kichi Rena ship, like all the way. And now that I'm older, it's just like, it's super obvious that, like, I mean, Ryokichi's characters can feel very queer a lot. So it's very obvious that Rena and Mion are tight. It's just like Kichi, Rena, Mion, poly.
Yeah. See?
Like, it's easy.
See?
It's easy.
Fine.
Everyone's happy.
And then Rika, and then Time Lord Rika is like, oh my god.
You remember.
Like, we might have a chance now and whatever the fuck is going on. I have a theory, but I'll say that at the end.
The only other thing to say is that like, at the very end, the bonus, which is where it kind of becomes clear that Rika. Well, okay, I say clear, but like there's a very good chance that she has like DID or like what was called like multiple personality disorder. Like there's something. She's talking to herself in her sleep, and Satoko just wakes up and is like, "What are you doing?" It's like it's early and it's still like late at night. I just want to get to sleep. Why are you talking to yourself? Okay,
it's 4 in the funking morning.
It's 4 in the fucking morning.
Prank.
Next time I see her again, she's dead.
Oh no, please. My only other note is that I really like that you did realize that it's like I really had no right to yell at you about the BB gun thing when, you know, I broke all the windows. And they did a callback to chapter 6. They touched their foreheads together and they cried together.
Oh,
yeah. That's Keiichi's way of telling her, like, you can still trust me. He can say whatever he wants, but he knows how far gone she is. She takes that initiative, and he knows what to do. I really like it.
She says that's just like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but I'm going to save the village from the aliens. And like Keiichi is just crying, just like, oh my god, she's gone.
Yeah, a come from behind victory, as she says.
Yeah,
come from behind victory. So
and we don't know what it is until it's too late.
The final chapter. I was gonna say, I'll be frank, we still got like an hour of conversation left, if that's what it is. Like, there's still anyway. So there's a lot to chapter 3, but just chapter 3. There's a lot to chapter 13. Thank you. But just for the interest of keeping things moving, because it's 3 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah. My big first, like, oh my god, it's just like, because it starts so simple. Our classmate got back from using the bathroom. Rena was there too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's new or not, but she's holding the hatchet. You see the sprite of her.
Yeah, like that's actually a first. Like at least from this version that we went through. Like even in the first book, that was not something that we saw.
Yeah. And I love how Rena planned it all out to get the teacher and the bodyguards out of there. So it's just she takes the school hostage.
Did she know about the bodyguard?
She probably didn't, but actually, she probably did.
No, like I'm in camp. She didn't, because do you remember in book 3 when Keiichi was like, "God, how do I get into school?" and then they just unlocked the door? I feel like it's that kind of coincidence.
Oh, you're right.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it just happened to be some like park ranger coming by. It's just like, oh my god, how am I this lucky?
But yeah, holy fuck. That's I watched this at 3. Funny story. So late at night, my mom will check on me to like go to bed, and I was up at almost 3 a.m. And what my mom will do is flicker the lights on and off.
Oh no!
And guess what happened right when Rena popped on screen?
Lights flickered.
Yep.
I can hear you going. Ah! I can hear it.
I didn't scream, but I jumped. and my mom was just like, "Go to bed. You're sick. Go to bed."
It's 4 in the fucking morning.
A prank.
Okay. Oh my god, this is.
It just builds and builds and builds. It's like a whole freaking action scene. Like, we make jokes about Endgame, but like, damn, this was like one of the Endgame moments of Higurashi. Like, everything just builds and it's so high tense, and just like
the final countdown.
Every time you think things can't get worse, they get worse.
Like, I kept DMing Ren because like he was letting us know, like it's like, okay, it's like, oh my god, what is this? And I'm at like, what time code are you on? I was like, okay, I'm like 20 minutes in. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Literally, I remember in our chat, Random was talking about things that were happening when there was only like a half hour left, and both of us were still saying, "See nothing yet."
Nothing yet.
No, there wasn't, and I was scared. I was so nervous because I wanted there to be a happy ending so badly in this. And even
you kind of got it. Just don't pay attention to the bonus.
Yeah.
And also don't pay attention to what day it is.
Yeah.
Just ignore a lot of things, and yeah,
it's happy. But holy shit!
I have a question. I have a theory. I think that this was adapted from a stage play. What do you think?
This chapter is longer than the stage play.
That's true, but like it literally ends with like end scene.
Yeah,
like
the curtains close.
The curtains close. It literally ends with that.
But yeah, it literally just keeps building and building with Rena. She's like she has a hostage. She ties up everybody. Oh, that's bad. And then she's like, oh god, she's taking the whole school hostage. That's bad.
Yep.
And oh wait, she wants to talk to Uichi, and she's getting a little mad, and she says she'll kill anyone if they disobey. That's really bad. And then we
could so save this. Maybe we can make this look like a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
No, it's thrown out the window the moment the police are involved. And then she's like, okay, Kichi, you give her the notebook. And I'm like, okay, this could be fine. Now they're going to be able to contact each other. Oh, wait. Kichi comes back and she's spreading fucking gasoline. Gasoline.
I love later on when Uichi is like, why is it so easy to get something so dangerous?
Yeah. Oh my god.
And the guy's response is like, I don't know, ask the fire department and gas stations.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow.
See, this is why we're better in New Jersey. We don't do that kind of shit.
We can't pump our own gas.
Yeah,
we can't pump our own gas. This is why. Like, do you see why?
Do you see what? This wouldn't have happened in New Jersey.
This wouldn't have happened in New Jersey. No, they all would have just gone to Wawa and just got some hoagies.
Yeah.
Ren is like, wow, I'm feeling a lot better already.
Yeah. Yeah. Food.
Hey, you guys want to go to ShopRite?
Hey, Jersey Mike subs. Oh, that's everywhere.
Oh my god.
Once a Jersey,
man.
always a Jersey. That's what I say.
Anyway, and it
Unfortunately, this takes place in Japan.
yeah. So, but it still gets worse because it's like, oh, by the way, if you're reading this, I've taken control of the school, and I have another bomb that just in case this doesn't work, it'll go off at 7 p.m. You've got less than an hour. Good luck. It's just like every time I thought they would get a fucking break, it just got worse.
Even emotionally, because when Rena's beating Mion with the side of the hatchet,
Oh my
she's bleeding.
God.
And Keiichi's just like, stop. I can put up with so much, but you're hurting Mion. Stop.
Yeah.
And as when Rena starts getting worried, she hits Keiichi, tries to do what she did to him, open up his arms to give her a hug and accept her. She hits him with the hatchet. And it's like, damn.
Like it gets really dark. And it just builds and builds. Like Casey said, this is a theater from hell. And there are all these demons just watching and laughing. And there's where's the line? I wrote it down. It's like I'm not gonna let you demons enjoy this. In fact, I'm gonna make you pick up the popcorn off the floor. And I'm sure that sounded so badass in his mind, but it's like
It was. And I was like, how did you know there was popcorn on my floor?
Oh my god.
Well, because
Are
I
you
don't
saying you're a
vacuum,
demon?
that's why.
Are you saying you're a demon, Miranda?
I can neither confirm or deny. Ha ha!
Oh boy.
I had
And
to
this
make
is
that
another
joke.
this is another thing that was like this is a good educational moment because they mentioned the plane hijacking of the Japanese Red Army, which I knew about, but like there's like they made like a like task force that comes in and just like, we'll take it over from here. Now wait just a minute. We know what's going on. We're the regular cops. You're the evil cops. And we'll get this done with it. Like, no, we got this now. We're gonna take it over. It's like, you idiots, if you start a spark, the whole thing's gonna blow.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
This is such a random bystander here comment. We posted a picture of Chie talking about how she would die without curry.
Oh my god, I wanted to save that, but no, we have to talk about the single funniest joke.
Just let me finish really quick because I agree with you. But I posted that and both of us were like, oh my god, like we were cracking up and Rand was cracking up too. It was like, yeah, that was super funny. That and when the guy got kicked in the what did you say, like kicked in the balls or whatever?
Yeah, it literally just goes, whoops, looks like I accidentally kicked you in the balls.
I say that, but it's like, that is funny.
I literally died laughing. Like, not as much as I'm dead with the curry teacher, but like...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Wash, do you want to read that out, or?
Okay, I took a picture of it, because this happened right before, everything, right before, like Rena enters with the hatchet, but, like, she heard on the, she's, like, thinking about what's going on, and she's, like, oh, she overhears Mion, talking on the phone, and is like, this is about Rena, isn't it? Oh my god, and you hear in her thought process, Ryugi-san becomes a bad kid. Therefore, he does something bad and gets arrested by the police. Therefore, it's the teacher's responsibility. Therefore, I'll be dishonorably discharged. Therefore, I can't eat cereal anymore. Therefore, I'm dead. And she's crying. And Mion is like, this is funny. I'm gonna keep watching this. I could, I was saying in the chat, there's like, if it ended at I can't eat curry anymore, it would have easily been the funniest thing, but the fact that it leads directly to her dying just sends it to the stratosphere. Beautiful.
Sells it for me is still the background. That's still what sells it for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact scary red cloud that you get from Photoshop, and it's... But it's in front of the most illogical.
Oh my god.
It's so good. And it's a nice little comedy before that.
Yeah.
Before
everything happens, and
this whole, like, from bad to worse
it
scene.
keeps happening. It just keeps happening.
It just keeps going. Like, it's almost, it's not exhausting, but it's just like, holy shit. Like,
there's so much to take.
It's just like like I said, every time you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. Which is great story-wise. It's fantastic. And I love how the timer gets so that they just keep mentioning, oh, an hour, you got 30 minutes, you got 15 minutes, you got 5 minutes, you got 30 seconds.
I love when Keiichi goes into the teacher's office and he thinks he finds it, and he's like, wait a minute, aren't these things normally like battery operated? Why is it plugged in? And then he realizes he got the wrong one, and Rena knew he was gonna go for it.
Yep.
And she was there, and he's like, I'm dead.
Yep. I'm
it's
dead.
Like, why did you look for that? And you were like, oh shit, there was like no reason I would have gotten into this if I didn't hear the bug. And then like Satoko like actually screams out like, no, it's a trick.
The Trap Master Satsuko. Her traps coming in handy again.
Yep.
Game recognized game.
Yep. And then like Rena's about to kill him, and then Rika just jumps on top of her, and she snatches the light, and Keiichi gets the lighter, and you just get this whole awesome ass chase scene to find the bomb, and it was so fucking cool.
I love how everybody contributes. Like, it's so cool.
Yes, it's like
Mion keeps everybody huddled together. Keiichi's actually the one doing the thing. Satoko is the one thinking, oh, okay, where is this thing? Where would I, Trapmaster Satoko, put this thing? And of course, Rika pretty much saving Keiichi from dying and stalling Rena for just long enough to where he can find the bomb or the kitchen timer and unplug it.
Yep. And Huichi is like guiding him with the megaphone. We're like, go, it's over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Huichi's screaming at him, go, go, go.
Oh, it's so cool.
He does it, he unplugs it, and it's like, okay, now jump off. Oh no, watch out!
Wait, oh no, there's still more we gotta talk about. Hold on, before we just the whole thing of him like trying to get the bomb. He's got literally like the second.
Yeah.
She goes up the stairs. She goes up the stairs. Rena runs up the stairs, and Satoko already set up a trap, and she falls over and gets buckets hit on her head, and she has an epic fight with Rika, and I think it was Rika. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Rika said something like I am. Oh no, it was Satoko. It was like I'm already light years ahead of you, and Rena says light years are just not time later.
Bonk. And speaking of references, I forgot to mention this when he was like, when Keiichi first finds the fake bomb, he's like, I found the source of the ticking. It's a pipe bomb. Yay! And then at the end, he's like, I found the source of the ticking. It was a trap. No!
This isn't a reference, but a couple months back, there is somebody on Twitter that said, "Hey, Higurashi Twitter, or When They Cry Twitter, what is your favorite When They Cry quote?" And there are a lot of good quotes, but I'm like, everybody, your favorite quote game is weak. Handle this. Praise like that won't make me happy now. You ruined everything that I risked my life for, Keiichi-kun. I was simply trying to protect our species from the aliens. You ruined it. If humans go extinct, it'll be your fault, Keiichi-kun. That will be recorded in history.
That was so conspiracy theorist.
And Keiichi immediately thinking like, damn, like some aliens are gonna be writing about me? That sounds cool.
Yeah.
We'll get to the final scene. We'll get there. There.
What else? I mean, is there? I mean, whatever we want to talk about. That's sure. I really like how they separate the stuff that happens in the school with the police outside.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really like how, because they're both happening at the same time, of course, but it's just, they work really well together because you have the insanity that is Rena on the inside and Oishi and I say the rest, but mostly Oishi, just trying to make the best of the situation as they possibly can on the outside.
Yep. And my God,
I especially like the little detail where it's like the it's like Oishi's like, hey, can I talk with Katie? I feel like we should talk a little bit more about the conspiracy because he's a good ally, and it's like, hey, if so, when you say yes for yes and yeah for no,
that's so smart. That's and
really
you see
smart.
it all the time in like movies too. Like,
yeah, and just it's just like, are you in danger? It's like, yeah, and she's like, yes, yeah, and it gets when I get the phone back, see, I told you he was my ally. Ooh.
Yep. Oh God.
Oh, by the way, there was didn't Casey have a baton?
He did, but he never used it.
He never used it.
Well, yeah, because the whole thing was that it's like if Keiichi uses any stuff that he has on Rena, she's gonna hit the lighter, and the school's gonna explode.
He never uses the pepper spray.
That's right.
Yeah, no, like they talk about, like, she even says, like, if he uses the pepper spray, she's so insane, she's just gonna light the lighter inherently. Like, she's that far gone.
Yeah,
like, we gave him all this stuff, and it's not gonna do anything. If anything, it's just making the situation worse.
Even the bug made the situation worse.
Yeah.
It did, because he's like, you have to turn it off. It could cause static electricity, which could set everything ablaze.
Yeah. Can we talk about the rooftop now?
Yeah, let's talk about the rooftop.
Okay. Well, we said something about 4 days ago that at the beginning of this podcast episode that they had a big water fight, and they kept saying like, oh, we're gonna have a final showdown. We're gonna have a duel to settle the matter, and we got it.
Yep, there it is.
We got it. Yeah,
there it is in all its glory. In such glory. It's like I wrote a joke in my notes at first. There's like because and just to make it like such an epic battle, like Keiichi even uses Satoshi's bat.
Yes.
Just to bring it all together. But like, I'm just thinking to myself, it's like they're having this epic battle, and I was thinking like, Uechi's probably like, what the fuck are you doing? Just jump down the roof and get on the plow.
He gets into it.
His superior is just like, Uechi, what are we gonna do? Oh yeah, we should probably do something, right?
He's just watching it. Everybody's
watching.
The only person who's not watching is like the idiot commissioner, who's just like, we need to get someone to shoot him with a sniper. I'm like, and Neon's like, no.
Yeah, like no matter what you do, like that's the worst thing you can do. Do not do that.
And like even Mion, who had her face like caved in with the end of a hatchet, it'd be like, no, this is cool. We gotta wait this out.
Yeah, exactly.
and everyone's cheering for Keiichi, and they just like flirt with each other and banter with each other, and just I
was hoping for like what say we bat around? I thought you'd never ask. You won't make me bat an eye. I'm not about to bury the hatchet.
How long have you waited for that joke?
I literally wrote it down like in the middle of the episode, in the middle of this. In the middle of watching.
So a couple days.
I wrote that, and then immediately after, Rena says, like, you shouldn't be counting your chicken before they've hashed. I'm like, oh shit, they did it for me.
Rena the pun master. Who would have thought?
And they have the back and forth, and it's glorious, and the night enveloped, and you get the massive moon in the background, and it's just like, this is so like both of them are just like, this is beautiful, this is fun, this is the best thing we could have done.
They're loving it. She even forgets why she's doing this. She's like, I don't care about this shit anymore.
Like we said at a certain point, like all they needed was to get social again. That was like Rena kept avoiding it, and it was making it worse off.
For another callback to Higurashi When. You brought this up yourself, Wash. The whole thing with Keiichi was his routine. That's the whole, like, the first half of Higurashi When was showing you Keiichi's routine and why he liked it so much. And the second half was him losing out on that routine. So with Rena, it was something similar, and the way that she got better was by kind of getting her back in a routine.
Yep.
And just having this like, and then it's like there's even a point where it's like Casey was ready to die. Casey, like he loses the bat, he gets on the ground and just like, okay, this is it, and like Rena is like, I don't want to do this, and Casey's like, I'm sorry, but we can't just end it like this. Like somebody has to lose, and she's just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, the I remember reading this, and I mean, like, my own ship freak out from back in the day reactivated, but I also like imagine random freaking out when they were like, we'll meet again in another life, we'll laugh like we used to, we'll be we'll do things together like we used to, we'll fall in love.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, Random's losing his mind.
It was more, I kind of like Mion and Kichi a bit more, so I more lost my mind with that, but the ship meter was still pretty good.
Shock.
I like the Poly a bit, though, because that everybody wins.
Poly's the best. We all
It
know.
is. It is.
Poly.
I like friends being friends. How about that?
Yeah, I'm okay with Kichi and Rena being just friends as well.
I mean, I'm super fine with them just being friends, too. I just also think we need more Poly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you were to ask me when I was younger, that's, like, more of my shipping days, so it's like, whatever. But now it's just, like, it was more Poly.
Yeah.
Either they're all friends or they're all Poly. It's like one or the other.
Pineapple?
Rena gives up. She pushed the hatchet down. It's like, no. They hug, they cry, and this, and Casey just, like, shouts out, like, this is it. You wanted your tragedy. You're not getting it. Curtain closed. Before we get to the bonus, I did like the tiny detail where they talk about the only victims to get any injuries were the people within this club, and like for Satoko, she just fell.
Yeah,
like
it's
Rika
just
went
like,
to a fight. Mion gets hit in the with a hatchet. Katie gets into a fight. Satoko, she just tripped.
She got hit by a bucket and fell.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, everyone else is like legit. Satsuko's. I love Satsuko. She's dumb. She just falls over.
And this is also the point where they reveal the date, June 25th.
Oh yeah.
And that's unfortunately a very important date for many reasons. And also the detail was like at 1845, 6:45, the hostages fled. At 7:10 is when Rena surrendered, which means that they had that rooftop fight for like 25 minutes.
Damn.
well,
that sounds about right.
Give or take. But it's just funny to me.
I was so nervous because of that whole. I was worried, like, all of a sudden I was just gonna hear a gunshot go off of a sniper, and just like, and we were just gonna get a tragedy of them both dying again. Because I would not be surprised. But that was me overthinking shit again. And
I mean, in your defense, there are still 2 books left, so
yeah. But overall, this was a wild ride of a chapter.
Yeah. We're obviously leaving out a lot, but like it's a 3-hour, 20-minute chapter. Phenomenal. I love pretty much everything about it. I don't think I have any problems with it, actually, which is crazy because it's so long.
Yeah, no, it deserves that sort of length because like it's the action movie that Higurashi apparently always was.
This felt shorter than the final chapter of Higurashi 2.
God, yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It's just insane.
I'm not gonna lie, the finale of Higurashi 2 dragged. This, for being 3 hours, it just flew by.
Yeah, like, I remember telling you guys, like, please, feel free. You don't have to do it all in one. It's fine. Random didn't do it all in one literally because he had to go to bed. Wash, I think you did it all in one?
What this one chapter?
Yeah.
Did I do it all in one? I might have. God, I'm trying to remember. I might have taken some sort of break because this was like early in the morning and I still needed to have like breakfast. But yeah,
I took 2 breaks with mine. I watched it 3 and I ended at 3 a.m. because of getting spooked. and then
I knew ahead of time that like because I like pieced together everything, but I knew that like I had to get chapter 13 done. Like that's the only thing that I could watch that day.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
And I think right before Satoko was like going like when it was like Satoko, think of the traps, and that break, that's when I took a break to like eat lunch because it was 1 o'clock and I didn't eat breakfast or lunch yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lunch break is like whatever, you get up, do things, that's whatever. I more mean like what Random was doing when he had to go to bed.
Yeah.
That's a break. This is just like I have to use the bathroom, or I'm hungry. That's like I guess it's a break technically, but still.
Is there anything else?
One little tiny detail that our characters forgot about, and that's the Great Hinamizawa disaster.
Oops. We're up to the bonus. Real quick before we get to that, the creator just his whole thing is just saying like we're so much more lucky. We're so much luckier nowadays. Like if you're at this sort of point where you feel like the murder is the only thing you can do, call a hotline.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
There are professionals. There are volunteers who have years of experience that can help you out with this.
Yeah. Talk to your family. If that doesn't work, talk to your friends. If that doesn't work, call a hotline. There are options. Please.
There are options. That's the ultimate conclusion was that like even like murdering the 2 people that Rena never gets punished for, even that was preventable.
Yeah. I really like and I wanted to talk about this so bad. Remember in the author thing for Higurashi 5, he talks about making a sympathetic murderer. And we were all like, Shion, no way. But now that we're here, we're actually here where it's like, she is sympathetic, but, it's like, is it okay? Like, that's not for us to really decide. It's not even really for Ryokishi to say. It's just more to get that discussion going. And I do like that during the end credit reel, because she did have to go to court, the police found her, and she confessed to the crime. And the Sonozakis defended her with the claim that she was going insane. They pleaded insanity, which honestly isn't that far off considering the whole alien thing. But yeah, no, it worked. And the best thing is that it's like if she gets found not guilty, you know what she gets to go through? Therapy.
But it was all for naught, and I got so mad and sad.
Because of something that we already knew was gonna happen.
And
so I don't know. It's small, but once you realize it, you're like, oh, the disaster. Well, I guess we don't know. Technically, we don't know about book 1, but considering that we're at book 6 now, and similar to how 2 and 5 are related, 1 and 6 are related, you can put the pieces together that for book 1 and book 6, the disaster happened. 3 and 4, the disaster happened. 2 and 5, the disaster didn't happen. So you think about what's different, and the lead up to the Hinamizawa disaster is that Rika dies.
Yep.
How does she die in 2 and 5? We know who killed Rika in 2 and 5. She dies a different way there, which is why, as you can see by like the credit reel where they're talking about where people, like Rena's still alive by the time 5 is all situated. A lot of people are alive, in fact, just not everybody. So it's like, okay, so you can kind of assume that the disaster didn't really happen in 2 and 5. So somebody killing Rika is probably what's causing this.
But how?
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
I don't know how, but I think Rika is involved. I like the idea of Rika having multiple personality disorder, but it doesn't explain why she keeps seeing things repeat like Ichi did. So my theory is that one theory with Rika is that she's sort of like supernatural being of some sort. And that she is somehow connected in one way, shape, or form to just Hinami Uezawa, and her death does cause this somehow. I don't know how exactly, and I don't know why, but I know that her death, like you said, her death is responsible for the calamity. I thought the disaster did happen in book 2 and 5, honestly. But you're right, it didn't, did it?
No. I mean, if it did, then they missed a lot of people.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're right. Okay, and yeah, she dies because of what happened to Rika. Yeah, because of the syringe. That's so interesting. What happened to Takano and Toмотake? That's the thing. That's been consistent with every single book. He's died by clawing his throat. We don't know why. We don't know how. We don't know if drugs were involved, but it's very common. Here's another theory. And these may be wrong. In fact, I kind of doubt these theories more since this book came out, because now everything's more logical. And shit. But Takano, she writes these cult novels. She wants to see this shit happen. She wants to see she thinks of all these like weird cultist ideas, but they're not really true. They're all crappy. What if she wants to bring them to life in her own way? And so she creates a formula in the medical lab that tries to recreate this thing that she wants to, I don't know, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Or she makes it look like that in some other way, whether it's by like clawing out Tomotake's throat and just basically look like it's happening. So she like plants everything in general, so like make it looks like all this shit happened. And she's just like planning something behind the scenes in order for her to leave Hinamizawa and have her stories become legend. Again, very far-fetched. Very, very far-fetched, and I highly doubt it. But I know those two, I know Takano is hugely involved.
So the three people that I was suspicious of, one of them, as weird as it sounds, and this was like a total throwaway, was Rika. Just because like she knew too much, and it was like, well, if I can't explain why she's dying, the suicide answer is always super easy. In the VN, it's a lot less plausible than the anime, I'll concede, but lol, I made the wrong decision. And this one is in the middle. Like, my number one guess was not this, but this was more plausible than Rika, I think. And it actually was Takano. I just thought after, like I said, in book 2, book 3, book 5, and book 6, or their arcs in the anime, whatever, that she did the thing, like, especially in book 5 and book 6, when she's literally, like, giving information to, like, her scrapbooks, and then 2 and 3, when she's just talking about how, in 2, this was kind of the thing that made me be like, oh, wow. In Higurashi 2, she's talking about all the things that they used to do way back in the day, all the rituals, all these things that she really loves. And then in 3, when she's asked if she believes in the curse, and she's like, oh, no, I think it's people. And it's like, oh, maybe she's people. Maybe she wants to recreate, like, the Watanagashi or whatever. And that's why, because Rika has the hole in her stomach. Maybe she's, like, recreating that or something. That's why I was super sus of Takano. I just said that. That's why I was super sus of Takano. But, more than anything, I really thought it was Oishi.
Ooh.
I was sold on Oishi from the start, because everything that goes wrong ever is because of Oishi.
You see, if it weren't for chapter 4, I probably would think that.
Do you mean book 4 with like Akasaka and stuff?
Yeah, book 4, yes.
Yeah. My rebuttal to that is that when in that book he literally says, I have no issue with anybody. Sonozakis are bad news, but they didn't do anything to me. And then his friend dies. And he's looking to avenge his friend, which avenging your friends, that fits in line with Higurashi's morals. And Oishi he's a government position out of anybody. He's the most likely to be able, if this isn't a actual volcano going off, which super sold that it's not at this point. But if it's not, who's got more potential to do anything like this than Oishi? Literally a government job. Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
Kirby fan, I know we're already, this is usually something that we have right after final thoughts, but you're the one that remembers my my initial impressions list.
Oh,
Put this right at the top. This is a winner. This is an excellent episode. This is an excellent book. This is like after book 1. This is what I really needed. I really needed something to. It's like I have some issues with book 2, book 3. Book 4 was fine, was fun, but it was also really short. Book 5, but like this really like just runs laps around all of them. It's very, it's weird that it's like it's a very big book, but it's really tight somehow. Like it's really efficient, and it really sells everything so well. Like you really get like especially where Rena is coming from. Just what a tragic character. Just so sad. And from that, you see like what Casey is going through. What a tragic character in book 1. So sad that all of this, that all this happened. And as he realized in that moment where he sees through time, he realizes that like he like even after death, he didn't realize that his friends were just trying to help him, and that's just the saddest thing of all. It's so powerful, and I don't have a clue yet what's going on with Rika. She's saying shit, and I'm just too smart for that. I don't need it.
Wash identifies with Satoko.
Look. I see it's like a green plant, and I see a white plant, but I don't know which one is broccoli. I don't know which one is cauliflower. What's going on?
Anyways, random, I am sorry. Your turn.
I don't remember my list anymore.
It was the same as Wash's.
Oh, well, it's gonna be the same again. Put it right at the fucking top. It was... Damn. Like, there were points where I was like, in every book, and even a bit in this one too, where I was just like, ooh, this is good, but okay. Let this, come on, let's go. Oh, okay, let's go. More so than others, I didn't really have that much problem with this book. My problem with watching it was like, I didn't have enough time to watch it. Not that it dragged at all, I just didn't have enough time. And I'm glad I watched it all and made time for it. I'm glad I had 6, so I had no choice but to watch it. And it was just so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
Like it's just how Rena is portrayed, how mental health is portrayed, how Kichi realizes the wrongdoing of his actions in book 1, and that it comes back to haunt him, and like he uses it to help make this book better. Like, holy shit. It's written so wonderfully, and it's very tight. You do have to know book 1. And arguably all the other books to really appreciate this though. But that's fine. But yeah, this is my favorite so far.
Yeah.
I don't know how 7 or 8 can top this, and I don't even think they will. But I also don't know what's gonna happen. Rika's a Time Lord. And so far Takano is the villain in this. Probably not.
Kirby
Kirby.
fan.
I was waiting for it. Okay. I am glad that I at least put up a front going in that I wasn't going to technically spoil the fact that this is like my favorite thing ever. Because if you go in and somebody's telling you like, oh, this is amazing, you'll love it, it does kind of not only heighten your expectations, but for some people, make them want to like it less, and I didn't want to take that chance. Especially with something like this. I do know what people's problems with this are, and with Ryukishi as a writer in general, and I hard to disagree. But, you know, you gotta understand where people are coming from. And if they're putting up reasonable arguments, and it's like, it's fine. We don't all have to like the same thing. Like, yeah, I think the fact that she didn't go to therapy and everything went horribly wrong after chapter 6 is good. But if you're just like, should've just gone to therapy, like, I get it. Nothing wrong with that take. I already said that it's my favorite one. I don't even need to delve into that. This is another thing. I'm always like, oh man, I'm not going to talk about who my favorite is, just so we can keep it in the air. So again, when we get to this point, it's, you know, something that we can talk about. And you guys already knew Rena was my favorite. I do such a bad job of hiding this. I love her so much. She is...
It's almost like she's the icon. She's your icon of the podcast.
Yeah, crazy thought.
It's almost as if she's like the icon for Higurashi.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but like that mentality of just like, obviously, you know, the basic, like, you know, like, did I just say depressed? I'm not depressed. I'm happy. Like, obviously, that's a very broad thing that people can relate to, but like, obsessing over cute things to try to get yourself to not, like, I've been in that exact spot. Not wanting people to enter your life and contemplating murder to get rid of them. Like, I shouldn't say this probably, but like, I've been in that exact spot. Even as far as like, and I mean, this is where it gets real, like, when I read this, I mean, when I watched it, I cried, but when I read it, it was like, Jesus, that whole thing of like, friends are just people to hang around with. They're not actually people you can rely on for things, and just that thought breaking you and constantly just making you want to cry. Been there too. A very long time, in fact. It was actually reading Higurashi that got me to start not thinking like that anymore, and only within the last couple of years have I fully accepted it's like, no, I'm over this. And I think I just pretty much have this book to thank for it. Higurashi changed my life for the better, and I love Higurashi 6. I love Rena. She reminds me of myself in so many ways. To the freaking point where she changed her name, and old people call her by her dead name, and she's like, don't call me my dead name, please. Like,
aww,
it's too much. Gosh, I love Higurashi 6, though. This is my favorite by a country mile. Not to say that I think 7 and 8 are god-awful or anything, but, this is the one. This is the one for me. Like, not that I'm really expecting anything in this regard, but, like, Incredibles isn't even close to this. That is my favorite thing that we've done. This is my favorite thing that we've done for the podcast so far, but it's, like, not even close. There's no competition here. I love Higurashi 6. Flaws and all.
Wow, I never thought we would beat Incredibles.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Damn.
Oh, I had a feeling.
I had a feeling it was your favorite. I didn't know it would beat Incredibles.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not
but also
not expecting anything to be like, oh, let's rank everything we've ever watched, but just because I like this one so much, I can comfortably say, you know, Incredibles wishes it was close to this.
But also, you did recommend this series to us, so...
Yeah, no, that's true. And I, like, that's the thing with Higurashi 6, is, like, I feel like it makes the rest of, it makes the other books, like, inherently better. When you go back to
I wish I had more time to rewatch them.
I definitely, at the very least, recommend Higurashi 1. It's an easy read, and, God, you see everything in such a different light.
It's free.
Yeah, Higurashi 1 is free. Read Higurashi 1 if you haven't already, somehow. But yeah. So, we've got Higurashi 7 up next. This one, This should not be a surprise, but this is another game changer. Again, I won't say if it's like, you know, I mean, this is the one, right? But the next one is a big deal in a lot of ways, and we'll see. So,
why do I have the biggest feeling that Rika's gonna be the protagonist? And not just...
one final note before I stop. When marketing Higurashi, obviously with Higurashi 1, you're going to market Rena because you want to be like, oh, she's like the main focus. You're going to date Rena. And then it's like, no. And then when Higurashi 6 came out, it was like, oh, okay, well, we already marketed Rena. Let's market Keiichi this time. What a beautiful accident. Higurashi 1 from Rena, and then Higurashi 6, despite that being more about Rena, it's still like Keiichi's story and how he uses the past to change the future. Like, what a beautiful accident that was.
Yep.
Wash, plug, please.
Oh my god, we could do plugs. Oh shit, now we're definitely gonna go over the 4-hour mark. Now we're definitely gonna go over the 4-hour mark. If you liked what you listened to, then you can follow us on Twitter at WRK Podcast. We'll let you know when the next Higurashi episode comes out. And all of our other podcast series. Speaking of, you can check out those series we have YouTube. We have video versions of this on YouTube, youtube.com/WRK Podcast, and we have audio versions of this on wrk.simplecast.com and wherever else you may get your podcast. And that about does it, because it is 11:30 at night.
Yep. We've been here since 7:30.
So
you know what? I'll be the one to say it. Every minute of this was completely worth it.
Yeah, I can.
I was super anxious because it's like, again, these are good answers, but it's very easy to rub people the wrong way, and I'm like, oh, I really hope they don't hate these answers. But I'm glad it worked out. Every minute was worth it. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out. I want to say something funny, but I'm so tired.
And with that, I'm Random Bystander here.
I'm dead.
I'm Rena fan.
Aww.
Oh. All right, 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours.
4 hours. 4 hours. Bye.
Bye.